one aspect that really struck me was the authentic use of patois throughout the film, and the response has been very interesting because even those people that struggled to understand all of it, they still were like struck by the moments in the film, the emotion of the performance and the authenticness of the performance really came through, even if you didn't get every single word. So how has it been seeing that response? Because you couldn't really known how people were going to respond, and it has to be great to see that, you didn't have to lessen your performance here.
Mm. In answer to your question, I've really enjoyed that part of it because that was something that kept me up for many nights. Um, I knew that there were going to be so many moments where people weren't going to understand because I remember not understanding. I remember when I didn't. I remember when I only understood, so much. And now it's hard to remember, but I do remember being really, really struggling with Bob. There's so many examples. So the feeling that the emotion and Lashana's performance really, whenever she's in a scene with Bob, that she's so clear that I could, yeah, I just feel really relieved. All the work that went into honoring the language, all the conversations around authenticity being the most important thing, and the whole journey of that. A lady in Jamaica gave me a B+, and I remember just feeling so happy with that. Like I just remember feeling like, oh man, that's really good that we got there as a non-Jamaican. I think is really amazing, and I think it was more about the attempt to honor him in that way, or the language in that way. Um, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I kind of like it.
That's
People go like I didn't understand. I kind of feel like yes,
that, that's
you
wonderful. And
understand
and
the
what I
emotion is really what's important.
yeah, that is the most important part. And what I really liked about the film was that it didn't try to attempt to tell, 10, 20 years of his life. It really focuses in on one specific slice, and you can go more in depth into those, day-to-day moments because of that. What did you like most about that more narrow view and showing one important part of his life rather than, doing the Herculean task of telling his entire life in a 2-hour movie?
Well, what it allowed for me was to really focus on Bob's internal, his internal struggle, um, and the research around trying to find out what was going on for Bob around that time from the people who knew him and the people who loved him, and then trying to match it up with what I was hearing in him speaking in the interviews around that time, and just doing all of the work that allowed us to land on this idea of safety and displacement, um, and trauma and struggle and safety, really, what it means to feel safe or not safe, um, externally and internally. And Bob he's a very, like, he's got a lot of very distinct things that he does in his movement and how he sings. His eyes are always closed. He's always trying to tap into something deeper. Um, just allowed for a really honest exploration from an acting point of view about, safety and where he was at. Safety and inner peace, you know. So yeah.